What's good, y'all? If you tapped in, you already know who I am. If not, my name is Caleb Drill. This video really gonna be for the guys that talk about moving out, saying they want to get on their own and do life on their own. You feel me? I want to give some insight. I'm 22. I moved out my parents' spot when I was 19. So I got about 3 to 4 years of learning how to do life. You feel me? Learning how to manage and be financially stable, be stable on my own as a man. First of all, you want to put God first, you feel me? Nothing that you're going to go through in life is going to automatically be done by just you. Always find out what path you need to be on, find out what environment you need to be in, right? So, like I said, I moved out when I was 19. At that point, I was working at Domino's. I had a 9 to 5 job, but I was in barber school full time. Now I'm a full time barber, and I have also have other businesses and stuff. What you have to understand is, and your mindset has to be locked in on the fact that everything fall on you. No matter how tired you feel, no matter how sick you feel, no matter if you don't feel like doing it today, everything fall on you. You feel me? Them bills still gonna come through. Them invoices for the bills gonna come through, and it's up to you to pay it. And I understand we as men, we don't always have the luxury of having people that we can count on. We don't always have the luxury of being able to go to other people, asking for things, and being able to count on them to come through with it. But at the end of the day, you have to be in the mindset and knowing that wherever I'm at in life, it's on me. So if you're living in an environment that you don't want to be in, it's on you to decide that you don't want to be in that environment anymore, and then do the things necessary to get out of that environment and be in a better environment, right? But we put too much focus on sometimes waiting on other people to come through for us, sometimes waiting on other people to help us when you're the only help that you may need in that moment, right? So you have to be in a place to where you understand that financially, okay, boom, let me get some income. Let me find a job that'll help me take care of myself, that'll help me be able to live stable, that'll help me do the things that I need to do, right? And sometimes you don't have that easily. Sometimes you may have to go get a trade. Sometimes you may have to go get a license. You may have to go to college before you can step into that type of thing or environment to where you can have access to that. You also have to understand that you need to help yourself. We focus too much on tricking off money, and I get it. I was there at one point when I first started buying designer shoes, buying a lot of clothes, buying a lot of shoes, buying a lot of everything, kicking it with all type of females, different things like that. I went through it, and I get it. You young, you gonna go through it. You gonna have that fun and you gonna have that fun and everything. But at the same time, you have to understand that when you pick up responsibilities, it's your responsibility and not anybody else's responsibility or obligation to help you, right? So you have to understand that, boom, okay, I want to have this fun. First, let me make sure I get these priorities out the way. First, let me make sure I take care of this business, or these bills that I have, right? My situation, I don't only have bills for my personal life, but I have bills for business. So it's even harder if you plan on being self-employed or if you are self-employed, because you got to do things double, basically. So if I woke up one day and I knew my responsibilities as far as my apartment and my shop had to be taken care of, guess what? If I woke up one day and I was like, I don't feel like showing up, I don't feel like doing nothing, everything is going to be in jeopardy. My shop is going to be in jeopardy. My living situation is going to be in jeopardy. Then my relationship may be on jeopardy. Because y'all know how women can get when it comes to sometimes things not being stable or them not being able to count on you and different things like that. You never know. But what you want to do is help yourself out. When you get paid, make sure you put up some money. 10%, 15%, 20% in your savings instead of tricking it off. Making sure you live in somewhere where you can afford it instead of trying to live a lavish lifestyle and keep up a certain lifestyle. Make sure it's a spot that you can afford. Make sure it's somewhere that you can feel comfortable living at. Make sure you got your things set up in the house to where it feels comfortable when you come in. It smells good, it look good, it's clean. You know how to cook for yourself. Instead of counting and being codependent on everybody else. Trying to depend on everybody else. You really become a man once you step in the real world. Once you graduate high school, once you graduate college. You feel me? So you got to help yourself out sometimes instead of making things overcomplicated. Recognize that we're men. So we just want to live comfortable at the end of the day. We may want to have fun here and there with certain things, but for the most part, we just want to live comfortable. We want to have money and we want to have fun. So it's not about the what, it's about the how. Okay, how can I have money? How can I have fun? Boom, I got to get income. All right, let me invest with this income. Either invest into myself or invest into business opportunities that'll bring me more income, and use that income that'll bring me assets, and use those assets to pay for my fun. That way that I can live a comfortable lifestyle. I can live and be able to support myself and also the people that come into my world. If you got a woman, you feel me, she coming into your world. So she's gonna be a part of your program. But a lot of us, we try to focus too much on women, chasing women, validating women, instead of bringing them into our world. But what world do you have for them to come into? What place do you have for them to come into? What car do you have for them to come into? What lifestyle do you have for them to come into? So you have to focus on becoming stable. That's my last video that I made, was focus on becoming stable as a man. And once you do that, everything else becomes easier. Whether it's with women, whether it's with business, because you already putting your mindset in learning how to be responsible, learning how to take care of things outside of yourself. But before you can take care of other things, you got to learn how to take care of you first. In every area, every aspect. Financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So once you understand that the more that I take care of myself, the better that I can handle more responsibilities, boom, not only will things start to come to you, you won't have to chase things no more. You won't have to chase people anymore. You'll start to attract things. You'll start to attract people that want to come into your life, that want to come into your world, your environment. And then sometimes even with stewardship, learning how to steward and manage what God blessed you with. It's a blessing to have a job. It's a blessing to have income. So you gotta wake up in a mindset knowing, you know what, I may not feel like doing it today. I may feel sick. I may feel tired. But it gotta be done anyways. Job not finished. I can't just not show up today. Because guess what? If you got a job and they call and tell you, hey, we need you to come in today, and you on a schedule and you don't show up, guess what? They finna fire you. You finna get your points. You feel me? So it's the same thing with life. If you wake up every day going based off how you feel, saying you don't want to show up on your goals, not showing up for your responsibilities, things gonna get taken. Your relationship might be in jeopardy. Your business might be in jeopardy. You might be getting ready to get evicted. So as a man, you have to understand when it comes to having these responsibilities and everything, you got to show up every day. And if you don't plan on showing up every day, allow yourself to have systems that help you out. Boom. Okay. I understand I don't want to work in my shop 24/7, so I'm going to have systems set up. I got people in there that work. I got a cleaner already. That way I don't have to have that responsibility because I stay in a whole different city and the business still runs like it's supposed to. So you can help yourself out by having systems. Help yourself out by saving money. Help yourself out to where if you feel sick or you tired or you got to take care of something at your household or in a different city, everything else is still taken care of. You're not neglecting your responsibilities, right? My girl, she been sick lately, so yesterday I took off. And it's a blessing to even be able to take off as an entrepreneur. Not only from God, but also being proactive, knowing that, okay, things gonna happen in life. We not exempt from problems. We not exempt from issues. We not exempt from sickness. So let me put some money up. That way when these issues come up, I can solve this problem. You know, the Bible say the love of money is the root of all evil, and that's true. But I don't think it's an issue to love making money. It's about what you do with it and how you spend it, how you use it, your mindset with it. So I love being able to solve issues. I love being able to fix problems. I love being able to not be stressing about certain things being taken care of. So it was a blessing to be able to take off to where I can take care of her and make sure she was straight, because that's also my help. That's also my responsibility. So help yourself out. Stop making things more complicated. But at the end of the day, always know that everything falls on me. Whether it's a responsibility, a relationship, it all falls on me and how I go about doing things. Why? Because it's my world, it's my program. So I'm getting on the path of doing things the way I need to do it. So always remember that. And at the end of the day, understand that anything that you want to grow, you gotta feed it. That's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. On the road to 1,000 subs.